exciting. I've wanted this rock star on the stage for a couple of years, and he has had some barriers. Mostly the fact that he is in school has kept him, he is in high school, has kept him from getting on this stage. I want to introduce you to someone who I saw for the first time a couple of years ago at PodCamp Boston, and he shocked and amazed me. Mr. Lane Sutton, at Lane Sutton on Twitter. He's a young entrepreneur, social media coach, digital native, and now he's 16 years old. Lane has been on social networks for the past 4 years and speaking ever since. He's been featured in CNN, The Wall Street Journal, Boston Globe, Forbes.com, The Week magazine, Mashable, Adweek, and other outlets. He started out in the web world with KidCriticUSA.com at just 11 years old, and posting reviews by a kid for kids and families. Lane's obvious talent is being a grown-up in a teen body and being an Apple fanboy. And I want you guys to understand that, if what I don't know who Steve Jobs was at 16, and I don't want to make any crazy comparisons. But we are very lucky that he has flown around the country over and over again in front of thousands of people to talk to trade industry organizations and to educate and to coach and to inspire. Let's give it up to Lane Sutton. Oh, TED Talks, too. Nice.
Hello, Okay, down, okay. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. I hope you're all energized, especially Lani's energy and Alan's excitement. So yeah, I am 16 years old. That pretty much covered it. So I just came from school, literally. So while you guys are all having your aha moments today, I just came from school, had an early dismissal, and here to talk to you all. So basically, I want to start off with my aha moment. And for me, that was when I started my business at 11 years old. And that business was Kid Critic USA. The website isn't up now, but it was a review website where I reviewed products, movies, books, activities, all from a kid's point of view. And it was pretty much a first because a lot of kids don't have their perspectives shared online, which is unique and different. So when I wrote a review of a book, one of the authors of this book had contacted me and said, hey, I see you're on Twitter, and you have a decent following. At the time, it was only maybe 1,000 people, and I would say that's pretty low. And she wanted to get on Twitter. She had no followers, and she said, could you send me some tips? And I said, all right, I'll send you an email and give you all kinds of tips. And she responds and says, I don't know what you just said. It doesn't make sense to me. And for the record, she's 65 years old, so she's a little bit new to technology and everything. And so she said, could you consult with me? And I said, all right. I mean, sure, I'll have a phone conversation and we'll go from there. And little did I know that would be going on for 4 years now. So I'm still working with her, and now she has 8,000 followers, a blog, and a great website going.
Wow.
So she has a big business that she's been able to grow from social media as well. And a little bit more about my background. I did intern at HubSpot this past summer, so I'll be talking to you about inbound marketing. And yeah, I mean, basically the way that I've been able to do it. So I like to start off with this picture. And it's really neat because it shows the evolution of humanity. So you start off, I don't know the scientific terms, it might be like Homo erectus or the ape chimpanzee back then, all the way to Homo sapien, modern day human. And with that, and you can see he's hunched over, kind of like all teens are with their computers and everything. With that, you also have the same going on for marketing. So you start off with segmenting, and you segment, different demographics, audience groups, and then also you want to be sure to personalize your marketing and make it humanized for your brand. Then you customize and individualize that experience so you create a positive customer experience and interaction for them. And then today you also see a shift of values just in people. If you look at the millennial generation especially, you'll see that they are so focused on, yes, I'm going to say it, on themselves, because that's been the big label. Millennials are narcissistic, unfortunately. I don't like to be a part of that, though, because you can't just label some generation. But they're very friend-focused and about building their own brand, about becoming more famous, I guess you'll say. And the perfect example is Miley Cyrus, too. I'm not even going to go more in depth to that because you know the story. You know it. And then this is one picture that went viral. Apple even included it in their keynotes, and it shows you the whole atmosphere. This is at, I think it's University of St. Louis, Missouri. And this is all Macs. And that's what a big point is, because what this culture is about is conformity. And whatever is hip, trendy, in, that's what this millennial generation is going to follow. So they want to be able to stay involved in current trends and kind of be trendsetters themselves. And I call that Generation C for connected. So it's a 24/7 generation, and that's why you all need to be 24/7 marketers. Now that sounds crazy because then you'd be sleepless. But that's why you can do other options and you can schedule your posts and other opportunities for that. So inbound marketing, that's the big theme here. And what it does is it's flexible. So you're able to tailor your marketing for specific generations based on their life cycle stage, which could be they're a customer, they're a lead, they're a contact, or they just got to your website. And then you can tailor your marketing just for them. So based on what they might want to see, what's best optimal for them, that's what they'll get. And the whole goal with that is to convert leads. So the problem is outbound marketing. And that's why you're all here too, because it's that ancient newspaper. Trust me, I still read the newspaper too. But let's face it, I mean, the ad industry for newspaper media is kind of going downhill. Online, they're doing really well. You also see like the baby picking up the phone, those toys. Mailing lists are out, radio, that ancient TV you see in the corner, all of those billboard ads, that's all out. So what we need to do is phase into the inbound marketing, which is the personalized. And the whole theme here is being human. And brands are not going to get anywhere if they're just broadcasting, because that isn't engaging, and that's been the big theme here today. So it's all about, yes, having that one-on-one personal conversation, making two-way relationships, connections, having someone be the face of that brand. So whether it be, and Comcast Cares does a great job with this, even though they're such a big company, what they do is they have each of their employees have their own profile. And it'll be Comcast Jenna, Comcast Dave, all of these different people. And they're representatives of Comcast. They're official social media people who the company hires. They have a team of 8. And their job is to manage and develop relationships with each customer and make them happy, and even potential customers. And then another example is Zappos. Zappos does a great job overall with all of their marketing. I mean, in addition to like the 1-year return policy, which is great. I mean, that's a huge benefit for any customer. But they're also so focused on customer service, which is a big theme. And for them, they also have Zappos Service. They're really responsive, and they just want to help. That's what their whole brand is about, being active. So as Kevin also stressed with having your website be the focus of everything, that's where you want, where you want to direct everyone into your website. So whether you have your blog reaching into your website, your community, all of your social network profiles, some SEO in there too, and ads, that should all go into your website. And your website, whether it be responsive, that's the best design that you want it to be, because that's optimized for people to see what you offer. And it's very clear. This is Darwin. And it's a big theme for millennials also, because digital Darwinism, that's what they call it, like the technical term. And that's how humans have evolved based on their behavior. And then it brings up a whole thing of how marketers target behavioral marketing based on what they've done in the past, based on if they've visited your website before, what activity they've had, the relationship they've built up, any life cycle stage, anything like that. And brands adapt to that. And that's what all of these different companies do when they offer software. And this is traditional marketing, which I was showing you that slide about outbound, which is so out. And inbound is all of these different forms of online media, which is where you want to focus. Sorry, it got cut off here a little bit. But this is the main graph of how inbound marketing works. You start, obviously, with your main goal, and that's to attract people, to get them in. And you can do that through those channels, like on that graph you had, with the website being your main focus, and then all of those channels, blogs, social media, all engaging into that website. And then, of course, your goal is to convert them, to get some information about them, whether that be their email address, some other information, background. You might have a nice form for them with a landing page so that they can get something in exchange for what they provide you. That's really big. And basically, we are, like the users and people who put their contact info in, we are the product, because that's what they ultimately want, and that's how a free service is able to get something out of it. And then you close, and that might be through emails, again, another great form of targeting, and then workflows. So when someone visits X page, whatever page that is, then they might get an email back saying, you visited this page, why didn't you buy? Or you might also be interested in blankets since you looked at pillows. Something like that that's engaging, so they're able to kind of connect their history. Amazon does a great job, all of these different companies. And then the end thing is delight. You want to make them happy, and that's the big success story for the customers. Another funnel, you're probably tired of funnels, but the main thing here is to attract and then tailor those emails for the customers. You can connect with an order base, with different databases that you're able to get more insight into your customers. So a big thing of social media, sure, is engaging, is having content, conversation. And that all grows your community. That's your whole following. And then you want to make them become aware of your brand. That's key. And a lot of companies will say, oh, social media, show me the money. That's where we want. But the problem with that is that social media may not provide that, and it won't directly. It'll just build up your recognition. And that's what matters too, because once people think of a brand, of some company or name, that's what sticks with them. And that's what's really key. So don't just think about the money with social media. That's what a lot of executives talk about too. This is the homepage of HubSpot. And with their new tool, they're able to customize their homepages based on who you are. So since I've visited their website before, I've plugged in my information to a form. They say, hello, Lane, and then they know that I don't have their software because I'm not a current customer, but they're offering that to me. So it's personalized, it's engaging, and that's what the big thing is, making an experience for the customer. Another thing is, this is the behavioral targeting, where companies like Zappos or Amazon, they're able to actually get their ad onto other networks and other blogs. It's a really neat thing that big companies are able to afford, the smaller ones can't. So that's why I'm talking about doing inbound marketing, because you're able to personalize that relationship within your own website, and you don't have to reach out to others. Just focus on your own community. This is another thing on a website. It's a golf website. And what they know is that he's a first-time visitor, but they also know that he's from the United Kingdom because they can track their IP address. And that's just using a tracking code, really easy. And so they're able to say that we ship to the UK, which is nice because that makes it more specific, and that's what they want. So it's another way that you can think about when you're marketing to personalize it further. Even Amazon. So at this time, I was looking for SAT prep stuff. And so they advertised for me SAT flashcards. Awesome, because I definitely need them and I need to study. So they knew my past history. They said, I purchased the study guide, so in that case, you might be interested in flashcards. Awesome. So I bought those too, and that got me in. A few places that you want to start, because I'm giving a lot of information and a lot of buzzwords to engagement, community, transparency, authenticity, all of those words that you want to hear, but what does it mean and what can you do with that? So you want to develop this presence, whether you're just getting started or you're somewhat active. You want to get started with, of course, blogs. And that's what content is going to provide. something that people have not thought about is providing information in exchange for your personal information. So when you want to say, subscribe to our newsletter, what will that provide for someone? What will they get out of it? Whether that be you offer them an ebook, something in exchange. And that's what HubSpot's marketing is all about, other places marketing, whether you have a psychology business, just give them tips and things that are going to be valuable. Maybe a checklist, a worksheet, something that will be valuable for them that makes them want to subscribe and give their information. You can definitely do video. White papers is another. Webinars are also awesome because you're able to engage and have, again, that in-person interaction too with the company, and they're able to show you interactively, answer your questions, all of that. And Lani and Alan are doing a great job with Epiphanies, so you can model after that too. And then that inbound friendly website, that's also really key, because with that, that's going to provide, again, that responsive design, which is so optimized for the personal experience. So with that, you're introduced to what the company offers, and then they go down, and it can be like a landing page format, and the end goal is to get them to contact you. So at the bottom, you'll have your contact form. It can easily scroll down from the product services we offer down to our team, who we are, our background, about, and then down to contact. You'll have your email newsletter up there, and that's going to be really easy for people to find. And that's what the whole thing about responsive is because it's easy. And the way that it's designed is just full width, instead of having all of these different sidebars and just, in my opinion, junk all over the side and all over the place. And definitely you're able to market for personas because you can integrate having your name, some information that you know about them, and then connect that to your database, you're able to give them that better experience. So as I was talking to you about before with show me the money, and that's what the end goal of social media, any kind of marketing is, think about whether you optimize your web marketing strategy for actually generating leads, which you definitely can do with emails, with all of those forms I told you about, getting ebooks up, all kinds of different content that are going to get people to be attracted and then convert that sale. Whether you think about that or as nurturing, whether you keep them entertained and in the loop because you just got their lead generation, because you just got their contact information, but you want to keep them in the loop. Not promotional, but more transparent and something that definitely benefits them. So the key things here are brand awareness, having that recognition, and keeping that brand name in mind, which is going to build relationships and connections, which are the whole thing about social media. And then it all comes back to buyer personas, because that's ultimately who you're marketing towards. And a lot of companies will market just to the broad range of who they want to market to. If you're a billboard company, you're going to market to marketing directors. But are you really thinking about other potential people that are looking at your website and making it personalized for what they want to see too, what they know best, and make it relevant? So that's why you need to optimize your marketing for people in specifics. And inbound marketing is honestly the best way to do that, because they're going to find what they want to find from your brand. The big theme here, and it's a big theme all the time because you need to humanize your brand, is let's put the social back in social media. I can't be more straightforward with that, because honestly, social media is all about just people to people. And one theme that you would think about is spheres of influence. LinkedIn is the best example of that, because it shows you you're a second-degree connection to all of you. I'm pretty much a second-degree connection to all of you because we're all connected to Lani and Alan, and from that, we're connected. So that's the best way to think of social media, because you're only so far, and it's just about optimizing that relationship to make it right for them. Always be changing. I know this kind of messed up on the slide, but adaptation is really key for this generation. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions also?
Now, we are going to do questions actually right about now. What we're going to do is we're going to have a video play, and while we do that, questions for you and for everybody else are going to be happening right on the panel. So
And
we're
just
gonna get all
to
set.
tell you, did you mention that? I mean, Lane was an intern at Boston's HubSpot this summer. Were you the youngest? The youngest.
Youngest HubSpotter, yep.
Youngest HubSpot. So